everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. First of all, I want to take a moment to thank each and every one of you for your incredible support. Your feedback, comments, and encouragement mean so much to me, and they're the reason I keep creating these episodes. I genuinely hope this podcast helps you improve your English skills. Whether you're just starting out or have been learning for a while, remember, every little effort you make counts. Listening to this podcast is a fantastic step, and I'm so excited to be a part of your language learning journey. Today, let's dive into a topic that many of us can relate to: how to learn English. Now, this isn't going to be about memorizing endless grammar rules or stuffing your brain with vocabulary lists. Instead, I want to share some personal stories and practical tips that worked for me and might work for you too. When I started learning English, I thought I needed to be perfect. I remember sitting at my desk, flipping through grammar books, and getting frustrated when I couldn't remember the difference between past perfect and present perfect. It felt like a mountain I'd never be able to climb. But over time, I learned something important. Language isn't about perfection. It's about communication. It's about connecting with people, sharing ideas, and understanding the world in a new way. One thing that made a huge difference for me was focusing on listening. Listening is such an underrated skill, but it's so powerful. I started with simple things, like listening to songs in English. At first, I didn't understand much, but I loved trying to sing along. Then I moved on to podcasts and movies. I remember watching one of my favorite movies without subtitles for the first time. At first, it was tough. I missed a lot of details, but each time I rewatched it, I caught a little more. And eventually, I could follow the entire story. That feeling of progress was so motivating. Another thing I realized is that learning English doesn't have to feel like hard work. It can be fun and even relaxing. For example, I started journaling in English. Every night I would write a few sentences about my day. They weren't perfect sentences, but they were mine. Today was sunny, and I went to the park. Or, I learned a new word today. Determination. Little by little, my confidence grew, and writing in English became second nature. Mistakes? Oh, I've made plenty. Once I told someone, "I am boring," instead of, "I am bored." Their reaction was priceless, and while it was embarrassing at the time, it became a funny story I still remember today. Mistakes are not failures. They're lessons. Every mistake you make is proof that you're trying, and that's something to be proud of. Another tip I'd like to share is finding your why. Why do you want to learn English? Is it for your career, travel, connecting with new people, or simply because you love the language? When you have a clear purpose, it's easier to stay motivated. For me, it was the idea of connecting with people from all over the world. I wanted to be able to understand their stories and share mine too. One of my favorite ways to learn was through storytelling. Stories are such a powerful way to absorb a language. I loved reading short stories and imagining myself in the scenes. Later, I started creating my own little stories in English, just for fun. It helped me practice vocabulary, grammar, and creativity all at once. Speaking of creativity, don't underestimate the power of trying to think in English. It might sound challenging at first, but start small. When you see something, try naming it in English in your mind. If you're cooking, think, "I'm cutting the vegetables now." It's a simple habit that trains your brain to switch to English more naturally. And let's not forget the social side of learning. If you have the chance, talk to native speakers or other learners. Joining online communities or language exchange groups can be a fantastic way to practice and meet new people. I remember joining a group where we would have weekly conversations in English. It was nerve-wracking at first, but it turned out to be one of the best decisions I made. I gained confidence, made new friends, and learned so much from others. Before we finish, let me ask you, what has been the most fun or interesting way you've learned English so far? I'd love to hear your stories and tips, so please share them in the comments below. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. That way, you'll stay updated on all the new episodes designed to help you on your English learning journey. Thank you for listening today. Remember, learning a language is not a race. It's a journey. Take it one step at a time, and don't forget to enjoy the process. You're doing amazing, and I'm so proud of you.